It's Alex Race here. I hope you find yourself well while listening to this video. And today we're going to be talking about my personal predictions for this weekend's Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. And this is one of the weekends that most F1 fans wait for, and I love this track with the banked corners, just seeing the Orange Army there supporting Verstappen. It's a really nice weekend to watch. Zandvoort always has wild races. A few years ago with the rain, famously with having the banked corners, we can think about it as Monaco without walls. And this is a very tight and technical track where track position and qualifying is really important. And let's look back at our previous race winners at this venue of Zandvoort. Looking back to 2024, it was Lando Norris with actually his second ever career race win, which he dominated somewhat most of the race. At the beginning, like in 2024 always, Lando fumbled the start from pole position, but he was able to pass Verstappen again. And he won over by 20 seconds, I think it was like 22 seconds, something like that, beating Verstappen at his own home race, who Verstappen was in a second. But before that, let's look back at 2021 when Zandvoort came back onto the F1 calendar. 2022 and 2023, they were actually all won by the same race winner, home favorite Max Verstappen. All the way, he won all those 3 straight wins in a row. So yeah, he basically knows his track from inside out. Here's some pictures of his race wins for 2021, 2022, and 2023. And now let's talk about some possible storylines we might have this weekend. Let's start talking about that Nico Hülkenberg might finally get points at Zandvoort. He's been getting points very consistently this year at 2025, but since he came back in 2023 to the sport with Haas, he actually never has gotten points in 2023 and in 2024. He's gotten close with the P11 and the P12, but never actually quite points. And the reason I bring up that point, I know that Nico's been very consistent this year, but since he's never actually gotten points here, and the Sauber is actually doing pretty good, and Nico's form is incredible, I feel like he's actually going to be able to get those points with stable car, like he didn't have really well stable car in Haas. And if everything with qualifying goes well and the strategy plays out, I think he might actually get points in Zandvoort for once. Now let's talk about our GOAT and savior, Fernando Alonso. He really doesn't quit. Moving back to 2022 in Alpine, which is an Alpine, there's no need to actually say what it is. He actually pulled off a P6 here in Zandvoort, which is pretty good in Alpine. And back in 2023, when he was on the podium spree, he was doing really well. He actually got a podium, not just any podium, a P2, which actually was 3, almost 4 seconds away from Verstappen. He's just vibes on this track. He's doing really well. If Aston clicks this weekend, we could see him around the P6 to P4 range. P4 is a bit too much, but you can call me Delulu. Hey, it is Fernando. He could do anything. You can never count him out. And this is where my hot take, like, kind of prediction that I know I might get wrong, but I still want to do it. It's that Mercedes aren't going to do really well here. Looking back, like the last 2 years, they haven't gotten the best scores. And taking in consideration, moving back to 2023, Lewis was only able to salvage a P6. But where was George? Strategy literally destroyed George. He ended up all the way down into P17, which is brutal. And literally he finished last. The other 3 cars DNF'd. And now talking about last year in 2024, it wasn't much better. Both cars were floating around the back of the top 10, never looking to actually like contend to get a podium. And now in 2025, they have the rookie of Kimi Antonelli, still in their learning ropes. Even though we're still halfway through the season, he's still a rookie. And this track might be a massive test for him. He is talented, there's no doubt about that. But the track is Zandvoort. It's narrow, technical, and it's unforgiving. And added to the fact that the McLaren's pace, not so much the Ferraris, but also the Red Bulls. And I honestly think Mercedes might struggle to score points here. And if they are going to score points, it's going to be a lower half of the top 10. But especially with the midfield, it's going to be difficult. Unless it rains or strategy Kyle's shake things up. It could be another rough one for the Silver Arrows. Let's move on to the juicy part of the video. This is my personal predictions for the top 5. Sorry guys, I meant to say top 5 of qualifying. Let's move on. P5, Charles Leclerc. I feel like that's going to be pretty solid because I don't really see them doing really well. Top 5, P4, Fernando Alonso. Yes, call me Delu, but yes, I feel like he's going to get P4. Now moving on to P3, home hero Max Verstappen. I feel like he's going to do his best trying to outperform the machinery that he's been giving, but P3 is the best I can do. And now let's move on to the top 2. As you can imagine, it's going to be both McLarens, and it is. P2, Oscar Piastri. I feel like he's going to be very rapid in the first 2 qualifying sessions, but he's going to be very rapid as well in Q3. But there's going to be a messy moment, like a yellow flag, that's going to make him mess up and cost him the pole. And as you can guess, like I was talking about, it's both McLarens, top 2, and P1, Lando Norris. It's going to be a back-to-back pole positions at Zandvoort, and I don't know if McLaren's can be beaten, to be honest. That's my qualifying predictions. Hey guys, quick reminder, I know you guys are watching the video, just wanted to remind you guys to like and subscribe, and I hope you're enjoying this video. And now let's move on to the meat and bones of this video, my race predictions. And my prediction for P5 would be Lewis Hamilton. I say he would struggle in quali, and that's why he wouldn't do good. And he claws his way back up during the race with good race pace, and if it rains, with good strategy calls. And in P4, I say would be Charles Leclerc. He would be pretty stable during the race, get some steady points for Ferrari, and it keeps it clean during the whole race. And now moving on to P3, I would not change it from qualifying. It would be Max Verstappen. He would fight hard, but the McLarens were too strong to actually fight for the win. And I say in P2 would be Oscar Piastri. I predict he's going to be right near Lando the entire race, but I feel something in the strategy is going to mess him up, and he's going to stay in P2 the whole race. And as you can guess, I have been kind of teasing it, but I think the winner of this race is going to be Lando Norris. Make it 2 wins at Zandvoort in a row. It's going to be an absolute statement, winning the last 4 out of 5 races. Am I correct? And that's it, guys. That's my predictions for the Dutch CP. You think Max will take back his home crown, or do you think Lando's going to start his own Zandvoort streak? In the comments down below, let me know your predictions, and I'd love to see them. I'll reply to them. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you after the race. Peace out, and bye, guys.